And here it is, another backstage interview from Riot Fest in Chicago, Riot Fest 2016. This time around, it's Yesod Williams, drummer for Pepper, a band that's been blissfully bringing chill vibes for 2 decades. We started the interview with a discussion of the band's sound. Simply put, you can take the band out of Hawaii, but you can't take Hawaii out of the band.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Yeah, I mean, there's like things that you just like, you know, that are just part of you, and that's like, you know, things like, you know, wearing slippers always, and you know, taking off your shoes before you walk into someone's house, and
Here in Chicago we track everything.
Yeah. Well, you got to. You know, the weather's brutal here in the winter.
We're tracking mud and ice and rock salt.
It's brutal. I always say that I could for sure live in Chicago, but there's no waves, so that's like always a deal breaker for me. I was blessed enough to grow up in paradise. Thank God to my parents for doing that. But it's also hit me with this stigma where I have to be near the ocean where there's some waves that I can surf to be a resident.
Yeah, I'm betting those waves are a lot more clear than what you'd get in Lake Michigan.
Yes, 100%. But that Lake Michigan is huge, man. It will trick your mind, and it makes you think it's the ocean when you look at it, because there's a horizon. You're like, whoa.
Oh yeah, it's definitely big. So let's talk about Hawaii. Speaking of, you know, you can take the band out of Hawaii. The new album, Ohana.
Yep.
Hawaiian.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, the song Vacation makes me want to drop my microphone right now, go to the liquor store, load up the trunk, and hit the road.
Okay.
That's the vibe you're
So
creating.
our mission was accomplished, is what you're saying.
Yes, you did it. Job well done.
Nice.
But it's a fun album. I mean, Start You Up.
Yeah.
It starts it up. That's a great song.
Yeah.
I love Bones, the acoustic.
Yeah.
Just the sound and the
vibe
vibe
I worked
of
with
Bones.
John Feldman from Goldfinger on that one.
He's omnipresent. He's everywhere.
Oh, he's
got his fingerprints on everything.
Yeah. It's more about what it doesn't have his fingerprints on than what he does these days. You know, he's just such a G. You know what I mean, to work with, and he just pulls the best out of people. Really, he's really good at doing that. You know.
So, you know, Pepper has its own distinct sound, but really at the core, those island sounds are still there.
Yeah.
You mutate them, you play with them, you transform them, but really that still is the core of who you are.
Yeah. Well, being a band for so long, you know, we're about to hit our 20th year as Pepper, and we've taken that quote-unquote island sound all over the place. Like, you think about a record called In With the Old that we released in 2003, and there's a song called Punk Rock Cowboy on there, which is, you know, it's literally like a punk rock / like shticky country song put together, but still for some reason that whole you can take the band out of the island but can't take the island out of the band, somehow it still has that Paniolo feel, which is like a Hawaiian cowboy feel to it, you know. So yeah, I think I'm really happy and really proud that that's kind of does show to the outside world that comes out to the and presents itself to the outside world with, I guess, without us trying, because it's so embedded in us, I guess.
For sure. Well, and you mentioned 20 years. I mean, for a lot of people, Conatown was the first exposure to your band. That's 15 years old at this point, which kind of blows my mind. I'm sure.
Tell me about
makes
it.
you reflect.
Yeah, same 3 guys too, man. Like, we've had other people play with us here and there, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's been me, Brett, and Kaleo since 1997, since we first got together in Brett's mom's garage and started jamming. Yeah, it's a crazy, like, I mean, my life's filled with pinch myself moments, you know what I mean? I'm just so grateful to be doing something we'd be doing anyway and actually be able to make a living from it. And yeah, you know, just being here playing this festival is such a pinch myself moment. And Ohana, speaking of the album Ohana, we recorded it all at our own studio that we've had for the last couple of years in Redondo Beach, California. And coincidentally, it is a band that we've been listening to since we were 13 or 14 years old, a band called Pennywise's old studio that they recorded albums at. So it's just such a blessing, man, and it's amazing. I'm just here to enjoy it, and I'm lucky enough to catch this overflow of awesomeness.
Well, you do well here in Chicago. People love you here, and as I'm looking at the lineup of Riot Fest, sounds of the Specials and the Toasters, a Marley.
Yeah.
You guys, the Midwest is hungry for this kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so clear.
Yeah, it's funny because you say that, because it was when we first moved from Hawaii, it was Southern California opened up for us a little bit Florida opened up for us a little bit, which all made sense to me. The beach towns were opening up for us and whatnot. And then, sure enough, out of the Midwest, here comes Chicago. All of a sudden, we go from we were playing I think the Paradise Lounge or something down here to like 25 people, and then all of a sudden it started opening up, and we're like, oh, cool, we're at the Metro now, and oh, the Metro sold out, and so it's the first place really in the Midwest to really embrace us and open its arms, and another pinch myself moment. It's like being such my dad from Chicago and being such a Bears fan, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. I'm so grateful and lucky to be in the wake of this awesomeness,
That's awesome. All right, so the new album is out. Looking ahead, 6-12 months, what can we expect from Pepper?
We have a really awesome tour that we're going to be announcing here real soon, pretty much any week now, that's going to start at the end of January and go through the beginning of March. So we'll be back somewhere in there, back in Chicago, probably in February-ish, but it's going to be a big co-headlining thing with us and another band that was on Warped Tour with us this last summer.
That narrows it down to 50, so...
Exactly. But at least it's narrowed down.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so we're going to do that after this. We have a couple more things. We're doing a charity event back in California for a good friend of ours, charity called Life Rolls On. And then after that, we have maybe a couple more shows this year, but kind of laying low for the rest of the year and then gearing up for that tour. So, and then that's still in support of the album Mohana, and hopefully maybe even put out some, with our studio like I was talking about, and we have our own record label, Law Records, which we released the album on. We're probably thinking about, maybe put out a 7-inch or something for that tour that I almost actually said who it was, so maybe we stop talking about this because
we're all done.
I'm so horrible with the surprises.
So good to see you. Welcome back to town.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.